What was your opinion on the ad thing, by the way?
Dog shit. What's yours?
So I actually think that it's fine if you actually don't get hit by it if you've run an ad in the last 2 hours.
Well, that's what I mean, right? I'd be okay
Dude,
with
Larzy,
that too,
thank you, man.
right? Because it would incentivize ads. But like right now, you don't get enough ad-free viewing if
Yeah.
you run ads. That's the issue.
Yeah.
So like
The thing
you're totally
is
right.
yeah,
Like that's what I said in my tweet about it. I
yeah.
was like, listen, this would be fine if, you know, ad-free viewing, like let's say you have to run like one 30-second ad every 2 hours. Yeah, every single person would do that. It would be completely fucking fine. But right now, you get 30 minutes of ad-free viewing if you run 3 minutes of ads. That's a 1 to 10.
Wait,
That's
you get wait,
10% ad.
you get 30 minutes for every 3?
Every 3 minutes. Yeah.
That's almost cable, right?
That's probably worse.
No, actually, I don't think it's worse than cable, but I mean, regardless, it's completely different.
Really
right?
bad.
Yeah, but
it is really bad. Like nobody's gonna watch that.
Yeah, I do think the thing is though is like I am sympathetic to them needing to do something to get content creators to run ads because I think you and I both know better than anyone that there's pretty much no way to make a content creator run an ad even if they're supposed to. Like
because it's not good for the thing is, like, forcing the ads on the creators is not going to do anybody any favors. It's not going to do Twitch any favors because people are just going to stop watching the website. Like, how many times have you gotten, like, a pre-roll whenever you go to watch somebody's stream, and then you just go back to Twitter?
Yeah, like, okay, so for example, like, look at it this way. When I see that you're about to end stream, I run an ad.
Yeah.
Like, I run an ad right before you're done to turn off my pre-roll. Like I literally and I'm very honest with everybody in my chat, right? Like I'm like, hey guys, look, Asmon stream's about to end. I'm gonna run 3 minutes of ads just to make sure that I don't have I don't have pre-roll, so nobody needs to watch an ad. Now, truth be told, and I think like this is a thing that most people who probably watch don't understand. I know as a content creator that I'm losing a shitload of money by doing that. Like I'm losing a lot of money. But I think most content creators don't care about that because everybody wants to have a better stream and they want to have more people watching, right? And long term, that probably means more revenue, right? For most people, if you actually believe in your stream. But I think pretty much every content creator has the dignity, I guess, and the belief in themselves that they don't need to just spam ads to get by. Like if I'm ever stressed, I'll spam ads, right? Like if I'm like shit, like I got to pay for but I tell people, right? Like you tell people, you're like, oh shit, I need money like rent's due. I got to run a couple fucking ads. I haven't had to do that in a long time, but I used to. Dude, remember when I used to fucking tell you, I was like, dude, I need to run ads really bad. I'm like, I fucking got you, dude. Like that was like how it like used to be, right? Like people, and I think everybody who watches Twitch gets that too, right? Like there are people who are trying to get by, right? I do think normalizing ads on Twitch is a good thing though. For content creators, but I think there are better ways to do it.
I feel like that's really what it comes down to, is that there are better ways to do it. And the thing is that like ads that replace the content, I think are never going to work. People are always going to have ad block or something like that, or they're just going to stop watching. It's just not. It's not a good way to do things.
Well, look at it this way. Right now, if you took away all of my subs. Right? If you took away literally every single sub that I have, I would not be able to stream, right? And where's that money coming from? That is coming from the people who watch my stream, who literally who I'm making content for. That is never how shit had to exist in entertainment because of ads. Ads are great. The money comes from really big corporations who don't. I don't want to have to rely on the people who are watching me for support. I appreciate it when they can support, but like I think it makes content worse some of the time, and I think that it creates like I don't know. I think it is more healthy if ads are accepted. The thing is you should be able to have control over them. Like if a streamer goes to the bathroom and runs 3 minutes of ads, I want that to be a normal thing where people aren't like leaving because of that ad.
Why would you not leave? Like you just asked a really simple question, right? Why would you not leave if somebody went in and played 3 minutes of ads?
Look at it this way.
It's going to sit through 3 minutes of ads. Like it's not It's not realistic.
Look at it this way. You ever listen to the radio?
Yeah.
You know when the ads come on, and
Yeah,
then you change the channel and there's another ad on, and you just change back to the other channel.
No.
See, that's the experience I have a lot of the time. I see.
Yeah, there's like 100 different channels. You just go to one that doesn't have an ad.
I agree with that perspective, right? When you have a bunch of different channels, but imagine if all of those channels were supported by ads, and you could have smaller streamers actually exist because of it.
It's the opposite, because it's a barrier to entry for smaller streamers.
You think
because
so?
Now, not only does somebody have to watch this smaller streamer, but also they also going to play ads too.
Well, what if ads started to happen a lot more, and they moved back to like the turbo model?
I think that a turbo model would be a good idea. I think that if Twitch wants to sell a membership to their website, that seems fine.
How would you guys feel about that, really quick, as we're talking about this? Like, who would pay? How much do you think it would be a month? Like, because YouTube does it, right? $10 a month. Would you guys do that or no? I see. I wonder how many people that would actually hurt.
Here's the problem, right? Is that like Twitch is they're in no place to do this. Like, why would you, for example, do that whenever you could just go watch something on YouTube with ad blocker? Or you could skip you can skip most ads on YouTube. So the thing is, like, there's not like they're creating a competitive weakness for themselves between themselves and YouTube. It's a mistake.
Well, I mean,
it's a huge mistake.
At the same time, right? You do have to make money at a certain point, and the question is, how are they doing it? Because look at it this way: at even my size, right? And I'm obviously, I don't know, what would you call me? Like, what size am I as a streamer?
Mid-size,
right? Yeah. I think like 1%. Yeah, but of like the 1%, like I would say mid-size, right? Like I'm a mid-size full-time streamer, right? For me already, I have the ability to get ads, right? I could do deals, I could do sponsorship, like I can do different things like that. Somebody of Asmon size can obviously do that. If you do that, Twitch doesn't make any profit off of that, right? You basically you still own a certain amount of rights to your stream, right? The burned in ads you wouldn't be able to change, right? You can't actually sell the ads against that, which was one of the things that changed with YouTube at a certain point, right? YouTube, you actually could with different things like MCNs and things like that, you were trying to change your burned in ads.
The thing is, I think that Twitch is just trying to make more money. They're just trying to make more money. It's always more and more money at the expense of the production, the expense of the integrity of the product. Like, why do they need to make more money?
Somebody actually said Twitch makes somebody just said in chat. Sorry, it was moving kind of fast, so I didn't see who said it. Somebody said Twitch makes a bunch of money off of like subs, bits, and all that stuff.
No, they don't.
They don't. Like they actually, like
they gain 1%.
I'm sure they're making some money, but thank you very much, Ferryman. Thank you, dude. Thank you for the $10. But the thing is like the actual fees that they have to pay for a lot of that, like that's why stuff, like at a certain point, stuff had to change with some of it. There's a lot of hangover from older days and the original days of streaming. But the ads themselves, like the subs themselves, like the cut that Twitch is taking is to pay the transaction fees. They actually make, I won't go too into it, but
yeah, we both know about this.
Yeah, there's some stuff that obviously Asmon and I can't say, but I don't know. It's definitely a weird thing because everything that you say is right, but at the same point,
they need to make money. I understand they need to make money,
and if ads are normalized, it can help content creators as well.
People are not going to normalize them though. That's the thing, is like the reason why it's normalized on YouTube is because ad blocker can get rid of them. If ad blocker did not get rid of ads on YouTube, people would not watch YouTube as much. The entire reason why it's normalized is because people don't have to deal with it.
I never even got an ad blocker, and it doesn't even bother me on YouTube.
I don't know. Like for me personally,
but I could be weird, right? Like I'm just saying, like me, like I just sit there.
I think like user behavior. I mean,
it's obviously very different, right?
I ask people like, have you ever clicked on a stream and immediately left because it got a pre-roll ad and thought to yourself, I actually don't care this much.
See, but
and then everybody says me, I've done that.
See,
before.
but I do that as well. But YouTube, I've never stopped watching a video because of it. And that's why I bring that up. That's why I pose that question right now.
How can you compare those two? Because Twitch has normalized pre-roll ads and you're still doing that. It's the same thing.
They haven't, though. You don't guarantee get it every single time.
Pretty much. I mean, like, you get a pre-roll ad, I'd say like 80% of the time. It's almost every single time. The thing is that, like, here's the example, is that Twitch is basically taking the easiest and laziest approach possible. Look at how well Internet Historian integrates ads into his content. Look how well Platinum WoW has obviously watched Internet Historian and taken that and as inspiration and integrated ads into his content. The idea that ads and the content can exist in some sort of symbiotic relationship is silly. Of course it can.
Yeah, but that's why I brought that up. So that's the thing. We can do that, right? We have the ability to do that. We've even done it before, right? And it's not invasive, but Twitch doesn't get a piece of that at all.
You're right. And so how can Twitch get a piece of that? Well, maybe they could create ads in different ways. Maybe they could incentivize people to interface with advertising in different ways. The thing is like, we're looking at this completely through the paradigm and the lens of the ads are cannibalizing the content that the creators make. There's no 10 commandments out there that says that has to happen. There are completely different ways that we could do ads, and I think that Twitch needs to be more creative and more inventive with doing the ads, and if they do that, they will actually be able to be more profitable. But here's the issue, is that you can't, I think that Twitch is just making the same mistake that all of these other companies make, is they're just trying to make more and more and more money, and then at a certain point it starts coming at the expense of the product, and the people that are at the top, they're making decisions, don't give a fuck, because they're going to leave the company in 4 months anyway after the next quarterly earnings report comes out, and they don't give a fuck about the longevity of the company. Like, I think that's what's happening with Twitch. I'm not happy about it, and I think it's just going to hurt streamers, it's going to hurt the community, and it's going to hurt everybody that it should hurt, or it shouldn't hurt, and it's not going to hurt anybody that it should hurt, which is the people that are making these bad decisions. I'm not happy about it at all.
Now, if there was a situation where a content creator basically had to run a certain amount of ads in like an hour-long period or a 2-hour-long period, that now this is obviously in it doesn't go exactly in line with what you're saying, right? But as a quick solution, do you think if every content creator had to run 3 minutes of ads every 2 hours, do you think that would affect, like, how do you think that would affect the ecosystem? Because
it would create a lot more viewer transients. And what I mean by that is that you'd see viewers going from different streams much more often in the same way they do from radio shows. And I think that's unhealthy for a community. And I think it's also unhealthy for viewers in general, because it interferes with the storytelling and the investment that the person gets with the live stream. I think
general question, sorry, and I want to keep hearing what you're saying. I just want to ask people in chat, do any of you watch a streamer who actually already currently, like, kind of regularly runs ads, whether it's in between games or when they go to the bathroom or anything like that? Like, do any of you guys already watch a streamer who does regularly do that? Because, like, we don't necessarily get to watch maybe as many streams, right?
I know a lot of the league guys do that.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, like, I'm relatively okay with it. If you have, like, if you're running it between games or something like that, it's not really that big of a deal. But there are a lot of games and a lot of different types of streams that don't really lend themselves to the kind of content that, like, I guess, like, makes ads feel good. And I think that's kind of what happens. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, I'm very much against this change. I think it's bad for creators. It's bad for Twitch in the long run too, because it creates a comparative advantage, a market advantage for YouTube.
Yeah, it's funny because I mean, already you just look at viewership between Twitch and YouTube, and YouTube obviously has, you know, and I've said this before, and like I think a lot of people who understand how content kind of works would know this about your stream as well. I mean, one of the reasons that you're like the biggest streamer on Twitch, or one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, is because of YouTube, and that like YouTube grew you on Twitch because the audience is because it's just such there's a bigger audience there, right? So people who maybe didn't even watch Twitch beforehand watched you, and they're like, man, I kind of want to see what this is like live, dude. And then they watched it and they enjoyed it, and now all of a sudden they became a Twitch viewer. So when you talk about that competitive advantage that they do have, it's a complicated relationship, but you're definitely right to think about it, in my opinion, because it's one of those things that has a huge impact. Because if the live viewing experience isn't something that's excited, you can watch a targeted video on YouTube, right?
Exactly. And also on top of that, think about it like this. Remember what we always say about Blizzard making decisions for shareholders and stakeholders instead of the players?
Yeah.
What really are the players? The players are the end user. And if you're not making decisions in order to make the end user happy, it is only a matter of time until you alienate the end user and they stop becoming users. And they stop being users. That is what happens. This is exactly what happens with WoW. This is what's happening with Twitch. And they're making the exact same mistake. That's why I'm not happy about it, is because I know where this path leads down. Twitch is, again, they're just going to try to make more and more money. And again, the thing about this that I really don't like is the fact that it's completely unnecessary. Like, they could make it. They could do it better. Like, you really think that, like,
I agree with that.
But people over at Twitch cannot think of any better way of doing ads.
Play devil's advocate. I'm going to
go ahead. Yeah,
here.
Please do.
And I'm going to try to say this in a way that's not like I'm saying too much. But think about it this way. What do you think the healthiest thing to do for a lot of content creators, which is going to incentivize more people to continue to create content on the platform, incentivize people to make better content on the platform, all of these things? How do you actually do that if you're Twitch? One of the ways that you're going to do it is you're going to try to offer salaries, right? The same way that Mixer and all these other places did that got people over in the first place, right? To be able to do that, you need to be able to monetize that platform. We already know that they can't monetize the sub revenue very well because of transaction fees, unless they're going to take a larger cut from content creators, which they're credit to Twitch. I don't think that's something they'll ever do. At least with people who've already been making content for a long time, right? What are other things? It literally comes down to ads, right? Like, that is one of the easiest ways to be able to keep people on the platform making the good content. Now, yes, I agree. It definitely makes the viewing experience worse for the people who are watching, but does it keep better content creators there? Guys. That's the question, right? Like, I think that there is a realm of reality that the upside is very much there. Now, I think that the alternate line, now this is where I get into my opinion. I think the alternate line is to spend money on content creators not streaming on the platform, but making original content on the platform. So whether it would be, and I don't even mean shows like Allcraft. I think supporting shows like Allcraft is obviously a good thing, but Allcraft is one that's yeah, exactly. Like, actually helping content creators make shows that they wouldn't be able to make right now, to make better content on the platform. Because, like you said, now all of a sudden you've supported content creators, so now they're able to stay on the platform and be able to create good content, and the user experience gets better. And then Twitch is also, if they're in bed with that, they can actually have good targeted sponsorships that they can take a cut of to move against that production budget and that P&L.
Here's one way to look at it, is that if you are going to go and watch a stream or something like that, and you have to sit through an ad, there is a higher probability that you're going to just not watch the stream. And that's just what's going to happen. And yes, obviously Twitch does have to make money. I understand Twitch has to make money, but the question really is how much money. And the problem that I'm seeing with this is that I can see the writing on the wall with this. Do you really think that they're going to stop at what they're doing now? No, I don't. I feel like this is just the beginning. And why do I think this is just the beginning? Because Twitch is a company that exists it's a publicly traded company, and they're going to try to make as much money on it as possible. And if that comes at the expense of the integrity of the product, the people that are making the money won't care. And I'm very concerned about that. And also, if you want to talk about helping out the streamers, do you know the best way to help out streamers is to put them in front of 1,000 people? If you put a streamer in front of 1,000 people, that person's going to be able to make a living. If you don't do that, their chances of making a living go down. And that's what I think really matters, like giving these people an opportunity to make a living. And you're not going to be able to do that whenever you're just putting ads and forcing them to run ads constantly because people aren't going to watch their content.
I don't know if putting somebody in front of 1,000 people is enough to give them security in any way.
Of course it is. Like, just from the pre-roll ads and the amount of subs that they're going to get inevitably, of course it is. And then if you talk about like any sort of sponsored stream or doing bounties at all, like, it's not even a question.
Okay.
I would say 500.
So I don't. Okay, as I've been very fortunate, right? With like throughout the entirety of my stream, I streamed for 4 years, right? Besides like the first year where I literally had 0 viewers. When I got to year 2, already I was casting a bunch of different esports, so people would come in, they would support the stream, and then also like you've supported the stream, right? So my sub count, I feel like is always
you supported my stream too. This is mutualistic, right? I mean, you come on and you host Allcraft.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, like my stream, yeah, like dude, trust me, like I know my worth, right? With like a lot of the stuff that I do. But the thing is at the end of the day, my stream is an anomaly, right? Like I feel like with 1,000 viewers, I could be a full-time streamer. I could have been a full-time streamer like a long time ago. And now even if I stream during EU times, I break 3K viewers like on my own.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's everybody. Like I think that we're kind of in, like when I watch other stream, like for example, one of my favorite content creators, he's a Magic the Gathering streamer, and I watch his YouTube videos literally every single day. And he had 1,000 viewers yesterday when I went into his stream, and I went in and I gifted him 100 subs. And because like, dude, I watch his videos every day. I was like, damn, like I've been waiting for him to be online because I never watch his stream. I just watch his YouTube videos pretty much every single night before I go to bed. No, his name's Covert Go Blue, CGB. I fucking love his YouTube. I literally watch his YouTube videos literally every single night. And I was literally waiting for his stream to be live. I had never watched his stream before, and I went in there and I gifted 100 subs. And he said something. Like, and now keep in mind, his YouTube videos probably get like 60,000 views, 40 to 60,000 views. Yo, Burning Route, thank you, man. Like, I'm a big fan of CGB. He had 1,000 viewers, and like I gifted 100 subs, and I think he had gotten like close to 200 subs in that day, and he was talking about how he had like never had that many subs. Like, and he's like talking about this, and I was like, shit, like, and I like, so I started checking stats and like all this stuff. Different directories are very different, and they're very important. And you know, if he didn't have his YouTube channel, I'm sure like now I'm like guessing like a bunch of different things, right? But there's a very real reality where what we see with 1,000 viewers in the WoW directory, which is an older community of, you know, 30-year-old business people who've been playing a video game for 15 years. Yo, what's up, son? Compared to Fortnite, which was one of the craziest sub per viewer counts that Twitch has ever seen, compared to being a variety streamer who literally gets probably 0 subs a night, even if they have 3,000 viewers. Like, it's much lower. I feel like there are a lot of content creators that actually can't support themselves with 1,000 viewers, which makes me sad, right? Because like anybody who's entertaining 1,000, like that is a lot of people, and they're probably a really good streamer and good content creator.
I just looked at his stuff, right? I mean, of course, like for his average viewership in July was 300 viewers. So big surprise that he didn't have a lot of subs.
Like, well, that's what I'm saying. But now his Twitch
having 1,000 viewers now is an anomaly. Like his viewership has actually doubled in like 1 month.
Maybe your stream's just blowing up. That's reasonable too, right?
It's just a matter of like kind of just like that critical mass of like his YouTube audience, you know, realizing he's streaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
And so like what I mean is that if you look at this, like it's not a surprise that he wouldn't make that much money off of it.
But you think that with the data that you've seen in this one case, which obviously is a small sample size, but you think that it actually supports with what you were saying?
Well, what is it supporting?
The idea that if somebody has 1,000 viewers, they'll be able to support themselves.
Absolutely. So yes, if you do everything wrong and you intentionally do not try to monetize your audience, and you you intentionally sabotage yourself, of course, yeah, you won't be able to make enough money with 1,000 viewers. But I think any reasonable person doing the best practices of Twitch and doing what seems like the best idea based off of what other streamers do regularly and what's generally accepted on the website, 1,000 viewers is more than enough to make a living.
Now, let's look at it this way. With what you're saying with those best practices, are any of those best practices like straight up being like mentioning Twitch Prime? No. Things like that, because
like having donations pop up, thanking subscribers and thanking and reading donations.
Now, do you think that makes content worse? I mean, I always do that because
that's a really good question, actually, and that's a really good conversation, because I wonder about that.
Yeah.
Because I'm at the point, right, where like I get enough subs to where like I don't really stream a lot of hours, like every week. I really don't. And so
I actually I looked at numbers. So with the new VOD thing, dude, think about it this way. This shit's actually fucking crazy. On average, you stream like 5 to 6 hours a day, and your VOD views for unique views is like 750,000 per like unique people for each stream. And that's just off of the VOD view metric, which downplays it slightly. So you literally in each, like, that is fucking crazy for the amount of time that you're actually streaming, right? Like some of the biggest streamers on Twitch will stream double the amount of time as you and not even crack 500,000. So like the amount of people that are actually watching your stream, it's fucking wild.
There's a lot of people, and then there's also all the people on YouTube. A lot of people watch the content, right?
And look at it this way, for anybody in chat who's trying to wrap their heads around the numbers. Myself, if you actually go through, and obviously like I'm way smaller than Zach, and if you go through my numbers on an average day, almost 200,000 unique viewers will watch an hour and a half of my content. Think about how fucking crazy that is. Then you look at Asmon, so think about how many hours are actually consumed by unique people. Like, it's fucking wild, dude. Like the thing is you don't really notice how many people are in and out of a stream if you're like a 1K Andy. If you are a 1K Andy over the course of, a 24-hour stream, think about how many people are actually fucking watching. Like, how long do you guys usually watch a stream in one night? And you actually notice that a lot of the viewer count that people actually do have tends to stay relatively consistent, right? People aren't just staying there the entire time. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is. And like, I've thought about that a lot, right? Is like, how much time do I want to spend reading donations and not focusing on like the actual content of my stream? And like, for example, like I've made $10,000 a month from donations every single month, basically, assuming I don't stream like Classic, I made more, right? I've made that exact amount of money whenever I had 1,000 viewers, and now whenever I have 50,000 viewers, the same amount of money. $10,000 a month. That was it. Why is it? Because people feel more noticed. People feel like they're a bigger part of the community. It's been the exact same every single time.
You want to hear something crazy to go in line with that? I, on average, would have, no, obviously nowhere near what yours was, but I would, on average, have higher subs in a night and higher donations in a night on nights where I didn't get a host.
Well, of course you would, because
it makes sense to us, but I think to other people, it's like, wait, what the fuck? You had more viewers, and it's like, yeah, exactly. It's pretty crazy.
And to me, like, I actually prefer, like, I don't really, it doesn't make a big difference to me, like, what people want to do to support, but I also don't want to have the content in the stream be just around kind of like thanking supporters, even though it's kind of like a weird thing to say, because I think that kind of diminishes the quality of the stream, because you're spending so much time not actually focusing on the content itself.
Also,
and that's something that I've kind of tried to like balance out with having, a lot of donations, and somebody donates $2 and they have like this long message and it's like this cringy joke. It's like, do I want to read that? It's like, well, they donated it, so I read it. But like, I think to myself, like, should I increase the amount? Should I do TTS? because like I don't want to make these people feel like I don't care, but at the same time, it's important that I also care about everybody else. And I think that's really what's so odd about it. And I think about this a lot, like what is the best way to do this? How can I make the stream as enjoyable for as many people as possible?
Dude, Hollow Horizon, thank you for the $100.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Damn, there you fucking go, dude.
Dude, what the fuck? Keep talking. It's working.
Yeah, dude. There you go. And so that's the thing, right? Is like for example, if you and also I feel like people are more inclined to donate to a smaller streamer than a larger streamer, right? I mean, you're gonna have people like the Am Highs and like everything like that, right? That are gonna donate $20,000 to Soda Poppin' or XQC or whoever. But I think that realistically, that's not really gonna happen all the time. That happens like once ever. And so like the regular people, if you're a smaller streamer, I think that they'll see that and they'll feel like they're more involved in your success. And so I think like, for example, like reading out donations and stuff like that, like TTS for smaller streamers is a bad idea. In my opinion, I think TTS is a bad idea for smaller streamers.
Depends on your community, but blanket, yeah.
It depends on your community, of course. Everything always depends. But I think in general, reading the message yourself gives it a more personal appeal, and it gives the donator a feeling of closeness to the streamer, which will make them more likely to donate in the future.
Yeah. I think that's like definitely for the most part. It also depends how you're using text-to-speech, right? Like for my community, like text-to-speech is really like the reason I use it is so I can actually read their message, right? Because like I'm not usually looking, so like it helps me look at chat and then like also do other things, which is very different than how like XQC uses it, right? Like, and
XQC also, like, here's the thing, right? Is he's got a lot of viewers, and so he doesn't have the ability to read every single message, and also XQC streams like 10 hours a day. Yeah. So realistically, he can't talk 10 hours a day the way I talk for 4 or 5 hours a day. It's just not going to happen.
But that was actually fun. That was what I did with my stream. I like when I was streaming 16 hours a day, and I actually didn't do this on purpose, but I actually really liked it a lot. I broke the stream up into 2 very different streams. Yeah. And I would look back, and they were different streams. Like the beginning of the stream, I would do like high energy, have a lot of fun, like in that way, like a bunch of people would come over from your stream, talk about shit that like happened throughout the day, and then I would hit a wall and I would crash, and I would literally I went back and I would watch my own streams to try to like make better content, and it was pretty much the exact same time every single night. All of a sudden I threw on a blanket, started to do like a lot more react shit, and it was calmer, and I actually liked it a lot. Like it wasn't like I didn't dislike it, but the thing is like nobody can do what like your style of streaming for an entire 14-hour stream,
right? I've done it a few times, and it's like I can do it once or twice, but I couldn't do that regularly. Maybe other people can, but I don't know anybody who can. And especially not consistently, day after day, month after month, week after week, right? And so I think that also, like, you look at TTS as a way to break up monotony. You obviously have like conversation topics, and TTS is a spontaneous, uncontrollable way to change the direction of the stream that makes the stream interesting and unique, and kind of that gives it a certain amount of what's the word?
Well, it gives you something to react to, right? Like, and it creates a conversation. Codecraft, dude, thank you for the $150, man.
Another one,
dude.
My god!
Dude, I'm taking your ass to Wendy's, dude. I'm taking your ass to
Holy
Wendy's,
shit!
Dude.
That's gonna be. I can't wait, man. I'm gonna.
Shit, dude. You can go whatever the fuck you want, man. Yeah. In all seriousness, though, I think like the thing with so this is actually something that's bad. I would tell most streamers to not do this. Okay. I am very casual with kind of having media share on a lot of the time, and the reason that I have media share on a lot of the time is because my community doesn't use it in like a really like kind of like I don't want to say spurty, but they don't use it in a spurty way. Like a lot of people in my community want to show me like music and stuff like that. Yeah, so like they know that if they media share it, it makes it easier for me. And then at a certain point in the night, they're like, "Hey, I media shared you a song," and then like we'll watch it. for most streamers, I say it's a really bad thing to do, and that you should only do media share on very special occasions. You should lean into it super heavy, make it the stream, and that's what the stream is, right? And one of the things that I will genuinely say about that is a streamer who does that is guaranteed going to make more money. They're going to make a lot of money too. I'm talking like if you're a 1K to 3K streamer in a night. What'd you say?
You can do the math, right? Like, let's say you have media share on 70% of the time, and it's $1 for 3 seconds. All you have to do is do the math. Like, you're making over $1,000 an hour.
Yeah, there are a lot of streamers who, off of one media share stream, secured their month, right? And and I think that's a good thing, right? Because you're incentivizing people to support the stream, and the content is typically good. And that's one of the reasons why I say to avoid that for most streamers. Like, if anybody ever asks me for advice, I'm like, that is something that you should not do very often, but when you do it, you should lean into it and you should make it the stream, because some people won't like it and they will just not watch your stream, but it doesn't hurt their view for your stream in the future.
Because it's just like a one-time thing.
Yeah,
like
I don't watch that stream. Yeah,
I was gonna do Welfare Wednesday, like next Wednesday, right? I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do this. And so whenever I do that, there's gonna be some people, and they're like, man, I just want to watch Asmon play WoW. Like, I don't care about this like Twitch meme shit. Like, what the fuck is this? And so I get that, man. And so just come back tomorrow, and we'll be back to farming mounts. And so I think that's what's really important too. And I think that being creative and being smart about what you're doing, like, there are so many streamers out there that I think are just fucking fools. Like, they're so stupid. Yeah. And they never think about what they do. Like, I could go on about this for fucking hours. Like, I think they're just completely fucking foolish.
Love you guys.
And there are some people, like Jack. I'm sure Jack feels the same way about me, right? And because I'm not taking a bunch of sponsorships.
Right?
So it's a matter of perspective, and to me, like, what are my priorities? I care about the quality of the stream more than anything, and that's why like, I'll get really stressed out if like my camera's not working, because that means that the quality of my stream is fucking going down, and I don't want that. Fuck no, I don't want that.
It rich.
It is frustrating when you do see some content creators that are really talented, and there's a weird curve, right? I think that there are a lot of people who just go, if I stream 14 hours a day every single day, I will be successful. And they make their content worse because of it. And I don't think that they're entirely wrong. As somebody who found a lot of success based off of the amount of hours I stream, but now still find success with working on the biggest project I've ever worked on in my entire life, which has actually caused me to stream less to make better content in the future, right?
It will definitely pay off.
I mean, you're probably the only person who gets that though right now, but yeah.
And so anyway, I don't know. I kind of agree. I mean, I think that, like, for me personally, before I took my break recently, I was streaming 6 days a week, and I would take Friday off. And I came back and I was like, you know what? Fucking Doc takes 2 days off. Tim takes 2 days off. Soda takes 2 weeks off. Or maybe he streams every fucking day, right? And so, do I need to keep this fucking schedule? Do I need to do this? No.
But that's unique to where you are, though, right?
But I made that mistake. The thing is, like, I tried to stream a lot, and I thought streaming a lot would keep me and make me more successful. But what I think it really did is it made me less successful, because I didn't have the energy that I had. Here's the thing, right? Is I would rather do a great 6-hour stream than an average 9-hour stream. I could stream all day. Like, usually, like, whenever you count like my alt channel, I probably stream on average 10 hours a day.
Well, Well, look at it this way. Just to have a counter argument here. Yeah. Look at one of our best friends. Look at S-Fan. When I met S-Fan, I had literally no idea who he was. I don't think he had even streamed on Twitch yet. He was like getting ready for his first stream. And then when he started, he was like, maybe 300 viewer Andy for a little while. S-Fan is one of the hardest workers you'll ever fucking meet. Guy thinks about his stream nonstop. Even if he wasn't my friend, I mean, obviously S-Fan's one of my best friends, but even if he wasn't,
Not true, Rich. He also agonizes over problems in his guild.
Yeah, that's...
Don't forget about that.
That is one of, I would say, his weaknesses. Nobody is perfect, right? The amount of times that I feel like we've been there just trying to make sure that, like, he's not worrying about stuff like that is probably pretty common. But I mean, but we're also his friends. We love him very much, and it's like one of those things that you kind of want to make sure that your friend's always doing all right. But S-Fan is one of the hardest workers that I think. And I think all of us know that. S-Fan streamed for 14 hours a day for like fucking 3 years. I mean, like, that guy was always on. And there was, I have a buddy who was telling me he was going through a hard thing in one of his relationships. And he was like, man, S-Fan was that friend that was always there for me. And I was like, yeah, dude, true. Like, S-Fan was always online. And I feel like now S-Fan doesn't need to do that. I think S-Fan could stream 6 hours a day. I think it would be...
And we both know who was one of the main people telling him, quit fucking doing that.
But he wouldn't have gotten there if it wasn't for that, right? So I think that it's very different depending on your size.
Well, he burned himself out, right? And then he took a break, which was, again, something that, like, he and I talked about that for like 20 hours, right? Total. And basically, like, I told him, I was like, listen...
Yeah.
S-Fan IRL 4 or 5 or whatever is like recent like YouTube video, that's the kind of content that like inspires S-Fan. Like, I don't think that sitting and playing the game for 12 hours inspires him. And like, that's something he gets up and he looks forward to making, right? Like, we go and we hang out and we talk about what's going to be S-Fan IRL 6, what's going to be S-Fan IRL 5 or whatever, right? And we think about like these whole fucking storylines that we're going to do, and we get super fucking excited about them, and it's great. And so I think that like streaming a lot, and like maybe this is just me, right? But I like the idea of like looking forward to the stream. And I think about like different things that happen on Twitter. I'm like, oh man, I really want to talk about this on stream. Oh man, I really want to bring this up on stream. It's like that ad shit happened or that Gallywix shit happened. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I cannot wait to fucking go in on this.
Yeah.
I am so fucking excited to see that. Right. And like, that's always what I've been about. And so like, if you're just always online, you don't really have that. But I think there's other people that always online is a great solution for them. And I think it's personality based. Yeah. And I think like my personality is I am halfway, a very extroverted, charismatic person. And then the other half of me is very insore and I don't want to talk to anyone. And I'm, Asmongold, the hermit. Yeah. And so I like being both people because both people are me.
I really
Kevin X300. Kevin Jordan,
dude, he's a great streamer too. Yeah.
He's doing an Among Us game.
I didn't realize he didn't have Twitter, but yeah, I think for me, one of the things really was too with that, and this was something that I feel like when you were taking your break, I always thought was a good route, and I'm curious how you feel about it now. Like for me. Mm-hmm. Allcraft is something that I look forward to each week because like I know it's going to be something that you get to talk to somebody else, like we get to hang out, and I know that it's not going to be like the highest viewership on your stream, right? But I feel like for your stream,
doing a lot better recently.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, the show's going to grow over time. It's a good show, but the thing is like for you, I feel like this is for literally like I tell every streamer that they should do something like that in the week. Because it gives you a rock. It gives you one thing to always work on, and it gives you that routine where you can be more produced on content. And I'm kind of curious if that's one of those things for you. Does that end up playing out that way? Like, is that kind of one of those things where it's like mentally that you have that, and it gives you this like nice form of structure that we don't necessarily have as streamers?
Well, there's that. There's also my transmog contests that I do. Yeah. There's other things as well. Like there's the like Welfare Wednesday stuff. Like I can do whatever I want. And so like kind of creating, I think that it's always a balance, right? Is that it's creating the spontaneity. I don't know what the word is for it, the adjective is, but basically the spontaneous nature of a stream, like preserving that while also having things that people can know are going to happen and look forward to. And so that's something that I think is like extremely valuable.
But yeah, I actually like my whole goal, and then we'll grab some more viewers while we do this Jaina run. I like for like, and you know this because you know everything that I work on like behind the scenes, but like my big goal has always been to have a show, like a produced show, because like I like hosting, right? Like that's one of my main backgrounds. I want to have a produced show every night that I do that then leads into a gameplay stream that's still spontaneous but has elements of it. Like for the science show, for example, on those nights, that's gonna be like I fucking love that, and it's something that I'm excited for.
Content on Twitch is going to be really big in 5 years.
And I definitely want to be like one of the people who's kind of making that, because I think it's valuable and it's fun. And wait, is he wearing gear? Look, he's got some gear, dude. Not bad. But yeah, I feel like the idea of having that produced show and having that consistency and getting that, for me, it's like it's a rush, right? It's like those things that put you, think about your best streams, the best streams that you've ever had. Like there's always something that's out of your control that gets you in this like emotional place, I feel like, and it's like this momentum machine, and it feels fucking incredible. And for me, I know that it's content, like produced content, that creates that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's inspiring. It's motivating.